Making the Inward Journey. September 16, 2014. Have you ever considered, dear ones, what would happen if you suddenly removed yourself from everything you've attached yourself to, including people, activities, work, hobbies, even from the electronic devices you've become so fond of? Imagine yourself doing all this. When you envision yourself alone, in the quiet stillness that you created, a sacred and beautiful solitude, at that moment, can you answer this question, who are you? It is a perplexing question for many dear souls, but for others that understand the power of solitude, they know who they are at that moment of quiet solitude is their true self. This inner part of you, the part of yourself, often gets pushed aside in favor of the busyness life demands. So many dear souls, when confronted with solitude, find themselves feeling cut off, separated, until they learn to breathe, to relax in the comfort of their own true self. Even in this modern era, there are many individuals that still do not know their true self. They have not even had a glimpse, and they are unaware that there is a deeper truth of who they really are. Such a journey is exquisitely breathtaking. It takes you on a path of deep, profound self-discovery, where all your learning comes only from you, learning how to follow your heart, listening to your inner voice more, and allowing your true self to emerge into all areas of your life. Of course, there are several reasons why many individuals have not discovered that they have a deeper true self within them waiting to be acknowledged. One of the reasons behind this unknowing is due to the structure of society. Even though there are many people who encourage such an adventure, there are just as many who discourage it. You understand this yourself. As a youngster, you followed the best you could, the directions and expectations of others, doing what they thought was best for you. You were conditioned by your environment, even if the ones who directed you had the best intentions. They did not realize themselves that there is more for a person to learn than the academics that help to facilitate your ability to find employment. This aspect of learning has been forgotten, but it is on the slow, uphill comeback. After you followed the expectations of others, got the grades and required certificates that stated your qualifications, you begin to create your own identity, but not with any true awareness to what that identity entails. You have created a role for yourself, one that you have been conditioned into. Once in this role, any opportunities that cross your path that don't fit this role, are considered foolhardy and not worth pursuing. Dreams are not followed and felt as something for children. Each of you has a role, some of you have many roles. If you look at the responsibilities of an electrician, a mother, father, spouse, educator, bus driver, traffic officer, etc., you can sometimes see the importance of these roles and how these roles affect other people. Your own life is filled with roles, and they demonstrate a great deal about your life situation and where your time and energy is spent. But do the roles you live define you as a person? It is well understood, dear ones, that some of the roles you live requires commitment and dedication, time and energy. They are not passive roles, but roles of importance, integrity, and often illustrates your ability to love and care for others. Look at the role of a single mother or single father as an example. Consider the role they must lead in order to raise their children in a loving and compassionate environment, in the best of their ability and means. The identity of the mother or father surrounds the role as parent, and this role has priority over other roles until the child grows and changes, and is able to think and do things for themselves. Life is about many things, but life is greatly about change, and roles also change. Just like the role of being a parent, it changes as the child grows, and any identity that is attached to that role also goes through a transformation. And such dramatic changes leaves people wondering what is next, wondering who they are after their children leave, and so forth. There is much anxiety concerning the struggle to learn of the inner, true self. You have grown so much over the years, but inside of you is a sacred part that has grown with you, the truest form of yourself. Even at the deepest levels of your inner self, this part of you doesn't get to play a major part of your life. Your inner self is not what describes your identity, it is your core values, beliefs, what drives your passion, how you choose to express yourself, if you are open or closed, how you demonstrate your personal power, Do you express yourself kindly or unkindly? These and more helps to forge a deeper connection with the inner part of yourself, with your true self, and the more you do this, the more your true self comes forward and begins to filter and move within many areas of your life. We understand how difficult it can be to choose from the many distractions and temptations in order to become more focused on discovering your true self. Have you given much thought or considered that your external life is a demonstration of your deepest values, your beliefs, or passions? When you do, you are living and expressing yourself from a place that is incredibly divine and precious. The discovery of your true self can only be found and explored by you. Others can offer you suggestions, but it is you that must make the journey inward and learn all that there is to learn. And this learning is not something that can be done in a couple of weeks like in a training seminar. The exploration and discovery of yourself is a journey that promises a lifetime of self-education, of changes to your perception at certain intervals, in order to bring in new, fresh changes and direction depending on where you are in life. The discovery of your inner self and of you is a never-ending journey. We encourage you to find the time each day to learn who you are behind the roles you are playing. Understand why you do the things you do, where your mannerisms came from, if there is something in need of change or improvement. Discovering your true self and bringing this divine aspect of yourself to the surface is your own personal plan and blueprint for implementing changes that will direct you to living a more happier and satisfying life. Instead of wondering who you truly are, take the courageous step and go inward, connect to your inner person, to your true self. Uncover many mysteries and get to know yourself from the inside out. There is much for you to unravel, much for you to learn of the world around you, and of the changes you can make, but first let's begin with you. And so it is. I'm Ascended Master, Morya through Julie Miller. spiritualnetworks.com